Dear Lord, as we get set to do your arati on this evening, on this Ekadasi day, may you please accept our homage. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam deepam grihana devesham Trailokyatimidapaham. Jai Jai Bhagwat Bhagwan ki hai आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही जग की मंगल की आरती पापियों everybody जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी ये मधुसूदन की आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है ये मधुर बोल जग पंड खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बेगरी को बनाने वाला ये मधुर बोल जग पंड खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बेगरी को बनाने वाला everybody श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही हो श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु की महिमा के आरती पापियों को जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती हो पापियों को से है तारती लेट्स प्रे ओम गजाननम भूतगणादिसेवितं कपेतजम्बो फलचारभक्षितं Uma Sutam Sho Kavinashkarakam Namami Viganeshwara Padapankajam Sarvamangalamangaliye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Guru Brahma Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushti Vardhanam Urvaru Kamiva Bandhanat Mrityu Mukshya Mamritat Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate. One last time. Om Namo Bhagavate. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, please have your seat. For those of you viewing on Facebook and other media, for those of you with me here on TikTok, Sitaram and cordial welcome. Everybody in the temple, if you came in after, Sitaram and welcome. This is our sixth session. Six, right? Right. Sixth session. Without any delay. In our last session, wonderful discourse, we were at chapter 7, book 2. The second book of Bhagwat is a funny book to read because the person who has to hear it, they have to be of a certain caliber. If you go to children, you can't read the second book. And that's a problem because there's some very, very good information in it. But if you do you search yourself or your people and you're talking in your house, what is Bhagwat? Most people think Bhagwat is Krishna Katha alone. Because for ease of business, you know that we will do Kalya discourse, we will do Sudama discourse, we will do Ajamil discourse, and then what happens is they get catch in a trap that you're only doing the same Katha over and over and over and over and over and over. And that is all Bhagavad is. But in the last chapter, one chapter, Brahma is explaining to Narada that in Kali Yuga, people will not understand the motive of God. In a time in Kali Yuga, when in Hindu texts there's a description, there's an explanation why there are other religions. Let me deal with a tough topic. If anybody vex with this point. In no other religion, you will come across a complete explanation for the existence of what we will say is other God or other religion. You will hear, my God is the true God. Your God is something else. If God is God, what could be other than God? In my conversation with the crew that was here this morning, for those of you that were live, I dealt with something because we're touching on different ticklish topics. A common criticism we have, especially when you ponder traveling, this is very heavy. Luggage will damage this poor book. This book is a working book. This poor thing is holding on by the last thread. It's falling apart. Follow me. The Baba them traveling abroad, the same book now in electronic copy. Older people, you will hear it. Oh, the Pandit have a laptop, you have a tablet. Nowadays, they even have a phone. How are you going to do puja for this? You ever hear somebody say that? How? Them Pandit nowadays, they're changing thing, man. All right. So God live. I understand that we taught the book Bhagwat. This is Devi Bhagwat. Bhagwat, we said earlier what that would mean. Bhagwan is the person, the shell that is full of bhaga. For children to understand, imagine a gaseous form of Lakshmi, the air. When you take the heat from the Havan Kun or the Dialite, you are taking something and passing it over your body to say, let my body be enriched, betterment. Let me leave here blessed. Something have to be blessing you. That is Bhaga. Bhagwan is the person full 100% with that. And when he bless you, that is what he blessing you with. Bhagwat is the book that is the body of Bhagwan. So when I rest my head, when I put it on my head, the logic is this is his body. And when I use it, I am going to get a full dose of Bhaga. Lakshmi Mata will come. Depending on my trouble, I will get help. Good. But remember, in the older time, long time, when these texts were created, the original form of the book is from the Guru lip to the Chelha ears. That is the mode of learning this. People would memorize it. There was never a book. So this is how we ended up arting the person. When we say, where does Brahma sit? When we were talking about the trouble with Brahma. Lord Shiva is the lingam, we talk about he, Shaligram is Vishnu, but where does Brahma sit in your prayer? In the Pandit who knows the mantras, he's saying the prayer, he's your guide. So I ended up arting the person because of the content of the person. He has the knowledge. He is, in other words, the book. So I worship him because the Bhaga is in his brain. As time is passing, as different religion is invading India at the time historically and killing the older head. So the younger head now don't know how to do the different ritual. In today's world, when somebody says it's Kali Yuga, think what I'm saying. When it have a twin, this is a question. When it have a twin being born, it have a prayers it is do. How it is do that again? I don't know, I know they used to do something, but I don't know the in and out of how to fix it. It have something it is do when it have a triplet being born. How to fix that again? When a person, if you understand, breech birth have a reaction, it have something with a child. When somebody born with veil over the eye, it have something going on there, it have a way to fix that, a good as well as a bad. In Kali Yuga, people start to lose the knowledge. It come back to the Gyan. So now what they start to do, we have to take it from the man head now, and they start to write it on leaf. Initially, the books were leaves. Then, as recent technology come about, Western culture started buying books and mass-produce books. Today, this is why everybody, for example, have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita. So we get accustomed with the book. Gita, Ganga, Chagayatri, that the 18th chapter is the body of Krishna. When we go one step further to make it technologically savvy, as the Hindu Dharma is evolving, I agree this is different, but consider what you are saying. Is it that this is a place or a form that God does not exist? Which place, in which form it have no God? That is the difference in one example of how Hinduism is a little more flexible and able to evolve compared to other religions. The flexibility of understanding that God is everything, it have a little convenience, because in whichever form he take, that is still God. When somebody says, my God alone is the God, it means you are encapsulating and you are locking him in, maybe into your four walls. God could only be in your building. God could only be in your form. God could be only in your understanding. But the Hindu, in our conversation in the last section, we hear that the different planet, before we had telescope, we was talking his eyes are the suns, not one sun, suns of the different universes. We were talking Lord Vishnu is lying on the Milky Ocean only to discover that there is something called the Milky Way. Multiverse existed in Hindu texts. Western people saw it and they took it and they put it in shows and books, so on. How could you talk about microbes when we said that when you take out the share of food, when you have Shrad, the first one, it is burn it. And the Hindu says, I am oxidizing this so that microbes, things I cannot see with my eyes, will get to eat. You never had a microscope. How you know it have germs? Think about the scope of your vision. That is Hinduism. That is the difference. That God is in what I cannot even see or understand. The second share food, I'll dissolve it in the water for the different microbes in the water, from small forms of life, plankton, etc., to big fish. Everybody eat. So and so had a praise by the house. So and somebody died, and we are feeding everybody. Please eat. If God becomes the ants, if God, watch your pictures, God could be the horse, God could be the snake, God could be the elephant, God could be the plant, God could be a stone, God could be the dirt, God could be the sun, God is everything. I see God in everything and every way. That is part of Hinduism. In the discourse, Brahma is telling Narad that Vishnu Baba now, maybe he thought maybe the person may not understand, like in the example of the germ, with a can't see how you going to understand thy God. So he started to take form of all the devatas. Saraswati does not keep coming. He says, no, but Vishnu, the main form of Bhagwat, he comes, and we spoke about Gajendra Katha, and he illustrated when people are in their worst, when they need mercy, when they need teaching, he takes different form, when they don't want to teach. We talked about Dattatreya. Everybody hear about Dattatreya Yoga Center, but they don't know the message of Dattatreya. Lord Dattatreya says, I don't want to teach you, don't come by me. I tell you, I want to be your guru. If you want to learn from me, I am not convincing you to learn anything. I am not offering you. I'm not the parent. Everybody here, babe, pick up your book. Yeah? Dattatreya is the type of parent that says, when you're ready to learn, you're going to find your way. When you're ready to eat, I'm not begging you. It have food in the kitchen. Go. I'm not spoon-feeding anybody. And he did not want to teach anybody. And anybody who wanted to learn from him, that form of Lord Vishnu, had to get up quick. And when he walk in, walk quick with him and learn by watching him. So, for example, this is a form of Lord Vishnu, but we don't have a murti of him. One of the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, we spoke about Buddha, Buddhism. But in Buddhist way, it is the creation of other religion. There were some guys, long story short, and they were very devoted in their prayer, but they were taking the blessing to take advantage of good people. So Lord Vishnu says, in order to break them, we have to distract them from their prayer. Consider what I'm telling you. He creates from his one form a copy. And he sends him upon the earth and he says, go and distract them. Tell them, why are you fasting and doing all these prayers and doing all this? I have an easier method. Don't fast. Don't do all these different things. Just live good. And you will get the blessing of the Lord. And the fellas now listening, becoming enticed to all these sweet words. Go with this easier method. And as they stop the prayer, they are destroyed. So the Adi Vishnu, or let's say the copy, the fake Vishnu, is coming back now. See it in your mind. Time to come back home. Time to come back in the original Vishnu. Lord Vishnu says, wait, Hold up. You stay on the earth. In this age of Kali Yuga, we've said it in Gita, you've heard it, many pundits say it. My devotee, Krishna says to Arjuna, my devotee is 1 in a million. That is the one, we understand the one. What about the 900,000 other people? Their karma is of a different grade, create different fate, create different pathway. And when the person is at a basic level, their karma is very low, they will understand what you are selling, what you are pushing. They will go into that. It makes sense to them. And they will be able now to do it really good. How many times have you heard somebody convert their religion? They could not practice Hinduism for nothing. Their mind, their body was not attracted to it. They did not accept it. They did not absorb or watch the Pitya or the Murti or whatever it be and want to learn. But a simpler method. Now the person is dressing different, giving up alcohol, giving up vice, doing it right and living good. You and I, the Sanatanists, don't get trapped. Don't condemn that person, They're doing good. Look at it like that. When you start to play the game they are playing, well, we lost 1, now we have 5, we was 6, we have 5 now. Oh God, we had to fight back to get 1 and we had to recruit. Hindu don't work so. If you have the karma to be born in a Sanatanist home, God bless you. And throughout this world in Trinidad, now you're seeing, for example, the Venezuelans want to come into Hinduism. When you go in India and you see ashram to ashram to ashram to ashram, white people, different religion, different ethnicity, people from Russia in particular, love the Hare Krishna because the Hare Krishna accept them. But if you go to a Sanatanist temple, they will say, hello, you can't be the Pandit. The only thing you could be is go from either Brahmachari or shoot straight into Sannyasi. They will make you a Swami. This is why you see a lot of foreigners in orange. They accept this type of lifestyle. But you are not the person to go and give Diksha or Guru Mantra or become the guide to another person. So, one nice example, Krishna Das, the singer, he becomes an elevated soul in the movement and he helps people sing, but he's not considered a guru because he's not born into it. Part of the gift that the person has as a Sanatanist is karmic. And if you have it, God bless. If you throw it away, God bless. If you wish to abstain from doing worship, nobody don't judge you. You could be a Hindu and be the worst Hindu. And still nobody don't judge you if they are correct in what they're doing. But when we start to walk the road and say, hello, convert to Hinduism, you're not doing Hindu. That is not Hinduism. This is why we don't walk the road and try to get people to pray like we. If you don't have the karma, brother, okay. If you don't want to do it, brother, okay. If you don't want to live the right life, that is where reincarnation comes from. You learn the lesson now, don't worry. Go and come back again. One day, you will learn the lesson. Vrindavan Bihari Lala Ki Jai. In order to instill these lessons, Vishnu Baba comes in a person's life from time to time. We spoke about, for example, understanding the form of Lord Shiva and why that snake, just as an example, why the snake is on his neck. How come all the Hindu people is have a god with a snake around his neck? How you going to bow with that man? Until somebody explain to you how the snake come around his neck, think about yourself. Hey, do plenty Lord Shiva prayers. When they were churning the ocean, the history of it, the snake that is the rope on the swizzle stick is a fella named Vasuki. And they pulling and they pulling and the mouth in the pain and the stretching, the mouth open and the fang, the gland activate and the halal poison spray out. Now the poison is killing everything. Lord Shiva went to, as you know, drink the poison. When he drink the poison reach here. Parvati Mata get vexed with everybody. Who curses the devatas? Parvati Mata. Why my husband have to be the servant for all of you? He becomes the Seva. He had to get up and do Seva for everybody. Drink the poison so you don't dead. When the poison reach here, She put her finger and she press it in under the Adam's apple to hold it. Watch that picture, for example. We spoke about it. That picture wrong. Is Lord Shiva blue? No. He's called Nilakant. He throat blue because of the poison stick here. He really is white. When you hear people call him Shwaita or white, is the ashes from the cremation ground and rub it so he look white. When Vasuki finished with all his swizzle stick business, he feeling bad because mother quarreling and she had to remain there to hold the poison here. He said, Ma, I partly responsible for that. Let me sit on his neck, and the body of the snake is made by muscle, wringing, compressing, relaxing, compressing, relaxing. Vasuki came here and watched it like a mala hook under the throat, squeezing the poison in place so that it would not go into the body. That is why Lord Shiva wears the snake around his neck. I doing he prayers my whole life, Baba, and I never knew that. When a person starts to understand the Lord, then you will have, like in this example, oh. But if, what we've been saying night after night, if I don't have the knowledge of him, I see him and I don't understand anything, then you would be lost. And many people, when they get lost, it doesn't make sense, I can't do it, and they falter and fall. But if God reveals himself time and time again, then the person could have hope, then the person could have faith. All right, that is a hard example, easier example. Look at Sinari here tonight with me. Recently, in his life, a gate fall on him. I didn't expect it, I didn't plan it, I didn't foresee it happening. In my life, car accident has happened. People is get sick, you're going to lie down flat. The doctor going to say, this is it. And you go to fight that. I am going to pray. I am going to go to God. And where the doctor give up, talk to a pundit, funeral coming. This is looking good. I am going to use my Hanuman Chalisa to fight this. And what was imminent change. How much dead people you know still walking around? When that person sees the God work in their life, and you get convinced within yourself that it have a God, it real. You see that Lord Shiva, that real. You see that Hanuman Chalisa, it real. It works. Try it. It works. Then that is why he takes the avatar, Ram, Krishna, Kalki, Buddha, to give you experiences, sometimes harsh, sometimes good, so that you develop faith. In a way, the pundit, your mother, nobody can give you that. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. He goes on now. Tonight we are going to finish book 2. At the end of book 2, when the Chatushloki Bhagwat is going to close, a part of Bhagwat, as I said, it is a different. The attitude of Bhagwat is going to change in book 3. Here, Narad Muni is still talking to him. And he says, dear father, how if Lord Vishnu is doing all this avatar, coming, going, acting, when Gajendra body is ripping because an animal is holding on to his foot and pulling. And Gajendra gets mukti or liberation because in all of the pain, he still holds on to Lord Vishnu. If he is able to do that for Gajendra, he's great. When people are in a coma in the hospital till today, and you go by a pundit, I don't want my family die, but could we say something? Look how she's suffering. The soul like it, I want to leave the body. Is there a prayer we could say? The Hindu prays, the prayer that Gajendra recited. And when God is ready, somehow what the soul couldn't leave, mercy happens, and the soul leaves, the person gives up the form. Let me just pretend somebody in a coma, the doctor saying the brain dead, but the heart still beating. Hindu, this pray even for mercy, selfless prayer. So, Daddy, tell me about you. Don't tell me about other people. Tell me what Lord Vishnu do for you when you were lost Brahma. What did Lord Vishnu do for you? Let's enter into this part where the revelation tonight, this last section of book 2, the revelation between Brahma and Vishnu is going to happen. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Brahmane Chodato Brahmano Mukha Paragunate Yacha Yasya Yam Yasya Tha Kathaye Narado Devashi Darshanam Brahmate Yayatam. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha. Kathayetam Mahabhagayatha Himaklin Ye Atmatam Krishna Nischalyatam Ga Manase Ayatam Mukti Ayati Varna Dvijayate Sankal Shrunoyayatam. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. A son, Narad, is talking to his father, Lord Brahma. Give to me, O Daddy, the secret. Tell me that which will encourage me to have more and more faith. Faith, Shraddha. That in a moment of pain, like Gajendra, like in a moment of loss, in a moment of not understanding God, how time works. In the last discourse, he tells the first form that Lord Vishnu takes, he takes the form of time. And he's working around you, and you don't realize it when he's playing with you. When your body, you just tell the body start to get gray, time does that. Just as it does with the tree, when it does with the animal to reproduce, the mango start to bear, time is at work, time is doing its job. You see it, God is working, and you still don't take the link and say, thank you, God. In the body, the cycle with the lady, the body hormone level, as time is passing, things are changing, and it's interfering with you. When the girl is 19 and how she thinks, how she likes, how she feels, when she becomes a mother and she's strict and she's stressed out, and these children, oh God, pundit, the noise and this. And I was talking when my mother became a grandmother, and the same thing I used to do, I said, but now the grandchild could do it and get away with it. Now time make you love and forgive, and you could anything. But time is changing you. How much time you hear somebody say, that long time thing, I forget that, I forgive that. Don't study those things. Who teach you to forgive? How you do it? It has some people cannot forget nor forgive. Go and find somebody who get raped, somebody who get abused, and tell them, you see that long time thing, forget that. The idea to forgive is hard. But for some people, God bless them that they are able to forget. God works in mysterious ways. It's just sometimes we don't see it. Narad Muni says, tell me, I want to have that faith to understand the universe, to understand God, so that I must become closer to Him. In this way, Brahma says the person has to understand how God works. God enters the person through their ears. the divinity that comes to a person when you are not born with it. It is usually something you hear, such as the mantra, like your guru mantra, hence the big thing with the airs, and recite it in the air. When the diksha from the Godfather is going, diksha is the unseen energy, it goes through the air. The person hears the sang, the person hears the mantra, the person hears the puja, shravan, shravanam, shravan the month, listening to prayer, and the energy, the diksha comes into the person. When it is entered into the air, it enters slowly and surely into the heart of the individual. And from there, he spreads, he permeates through the person, affecting actions, changing behavior, allowing the person to think different, act different. One day you're running down the alcohol, you want the nightlife, you want a line, you want to enjoy certain things, and within your own self, one day those things will not be attractive, it will become a burden. I don't want it. The same person could change because something else is as if whispering to you. You really want to do that? When the person is in this way infected with this greater attachment, Shlok 6, chapter 8, the soul is able to wash away the sins, becoming freed from the affliction or the pain and punishment by holding on, releasing the other things we like and want, and holding on to the toe, the toenail, the charan of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. The person does not, as they become blessed, does not want to hold on to other things. But the sign of a blessed person is the person is relishing in the opportunity to see the Murti. For example, Ganesh Utsav coming and the Murti passing, make sure and tell me when the procession coming. Just like how people used to rush to go and see the Dolahin when the Bharat is passing and they wanted to see the action. No, maybe not so much to see that noise, but if Ganesh Baba passing, I just want to put a flowers for you. The person is attracted to different things. Nobody invited to do it. I just want them to stop. The soul, although the elements are in the body, what we see in the funeral when they're taking out the element, he doesn't hold on to those things. People don't think, Ganesh Baba, you sit here when I put the tikka here, I put in it for the breath that I depend on. Nobody says, Ganesh Baba, keep me breathing in the night. I have short breath, I have anxiety attack, keep me breathing. But instead, you might say, dear Lord, help me to breathe tonight. For example, the person is, as it were, not aware that there is divine entities sitting in the body. Dear Father, tell me where he sleeps. Tell me what he does. How does he create? How does he preserve? When people say these things, what does it mean? What difference did he make to you? How did it happen? Where did it start? You have to explain these things to me, because I feel after listening chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7 of book 2, I don't know God. I am realizing that there's so much that I am not aware of. I'm living it, have a pity, but I really didn't know this is how it is and this is how it works. Brahma tells him, you are looking at me as a creator because I have a job. But I am the same way. I sprang from his navel. And in that form, I woke up like a dreamer. I wake up from a sleep and I recall different things. But even as the person who is dreaming, you cannot hold on. It seems as if it is always fake. It is never tangible. It's not real. In the same way, everything that is what we call creation, at that point when I now come out on the flowers from Enable, nothing existed. It was as if I was in a dream of nothingness. From the Akashvani, I was told, start to create. Make. reproduce. Son, the problem is I did not have the vision. I did not have the drishti. I did not know what to create. Create good. What does a tree look like if I have never seen a tree? How to make female and male so that a next generation could be created? How? What to do? And he says, from that moment of ignorance and not knowing what to do, I heard very loud from nowhere, from darkness. It don't have a sun, it don't have a moon, it don't have stars, it don't have anything. I heard the 16th letter and the 21st letter of the Hindi alphabet. Very loud. Ta, pa, tap. Go into meditation. Close your mind from all the different things, what to do, how to solve this, what to do. The woman make, what to make. That anxiety, conduct yourself, slow down. And just think about the help. Focus on what we would say is God. He does it. Not knowing the mantra, there's no mantra yet. Maybe in your and my life, we don't know all the mantras. Pandit Adish and Pandit Rohit know. But a person could still pray. Maybe we don't know the stotra, maybe we don't know the methods, but in your heart, when you have faith, when you know there's an earnest, I need help, you can pray if the attitude is correct. With devotion, I closed my mind from all the fear and anxiety that I had. And for 1,000 years, I sat in this tapasya asking for help. And when I opened my eyes, just as if for we to understand, the curtain pull and behind the curtain there's somebody lying down right there. When he opened his eyes from that nothingness, he saw Lord Vishnu lying on Sheshnag, now he following the stem of the lotus flower. Lord Vishnu, without any conversation, tells him, this is my dwelling. This place is called Vaikunt, and you are now going to create goodness and create darkness. Create a duality, opposite. It have sweet, it have bitter. It have good, it have bad. Create both sides. Create life and then create the cycle of life, death. Allow it to flow. In Vaikuntha, I saw as he gave me a vision where people who are his followers, people who worship him, people who come from good and godly, people who come from demonic. An example is given in when people say the word demonic. People think in the TV show the guy with the whiskers and it is look like Thakur and talk different and look different. Demonic is defined in Bhagavad Gita as a person who never knows how to conduct himself. Think what I say. You don't know manners. You can't say Sitaram. You don't know how to appreciate when somebody do something for you. Thank you. I see what you're doing. You're doing it perfect, but I see what you're doing. Thanks. When the person don't have that, demonic. When the person could say thank you and I am grateful for what you do for me, that is divine. It doesn't mean they have wings and they could fly. No, that vision you have, that is not it. So if a person says, I have divine people in my life, what they have, these people, oh Narad, I saw, they were very pure in their conduct. Their eyes were gentle, calm eyes, not angry looking eyes. These people were wearing yellow clothes like Lord Vishnu whilst he was lying there. All of them had 4 hands. All of them were glowing. And he says, these people, because of their character, live here. This place will be my lok. You will create different realm, different gender, different abilities. People will have gifts. People will have lack of gifts. People will have what we say common sense. And some people will lack the ability to sort and choose what on their own, what is to be done, what is not to be done. You will make a stratosphere of good, better, best. And Lord Vishnu started to show him more and more what this creation will be. Brahma tells Narad, after traveling and seeing what a tree looks like, what mud for the first time, what mud dirt looks like, what the different globes, the different planets, and he says, under my arm, on the head of every strand of hair, there will be a globe, a planet that is turning and suspended on my body. Make them and put them there. Brahma was in awe, and he bows his head to the feet of Lord Vishnu. He says, give me the power, give me the strength, give me the drishti and the ability to do it. In this way, when Lord Vishnu lifts his hand, he blesses Brahma with the ability to do it. Be good and ask me today for bowing. Ask me today for what you wish to have. Because of your ability, because of who you are, you have the ability to see me. Whenever a person can see me in dream, in reality, in their life, that person is divine. However, if you judge yourself, God comes in different forms and you will never see him. That is why me and you are sinful people. Brahma, you have it. And because of your goodness, you are rewarded with the vision to see God. I order you now, Brahma, because of your devotion, start to create and propagate life in its fullest form. In this universe, I will give what is called fate. I will give a person the ability to harbor love. I will give a person the ability to harbor forgiveness. I will give a person what they think their limit is. I will lift them up to rise above that too. When a person comes to me, although you have created limited people, when a person searches for me, I will feed them extra energy and gifts and give them the ability to outdo, persevere, outshine what they think they are capable of doing. For this reason, think about the value of your prayer. Everybody says the cancer is aggressive. You're going. You are not picking up your book. You're not going to pass maths. This is going to fail. And you go to your prayer, and your prayer is a funny thing that although we are heading down a trajectory, we are heading down a road, my prayer, when done properly, could change karma. If you cannot change, people say, I am not in control of my destiny. You know what, Pandit? The Patra have it in the book, it in my hand, it in my forehead, it written out, catch my tail. Well, where you going to do, Pandit, is my karma. If you are not in control of your karma, asking you now, what you praying for? Where is of Hadar, Lydia, Dujap, Mount Vrat, where you doing it for? Nothing I do have value. It right in the Patra, Pandit. A born poor, somebody tell me my father used to roll in the drain and drink rum. What you going to do? That's all I could do. That's why I could become. That's my genetics. If that was the case, why are you praying? Why are you aspiring for betterment? Why pray and ask God to spare life, change your fate, give me money? Why do Lakshmi Puja? The answer is, the Hindu believe, I make my destiny. And that is the power and the efficacy of my prayer. He says, what you create, I will improve. I will still lift them up. Don't matter who they are or what they are, I will cast off. I will give them the energy to break idleness. If I lift my hand and bless the person, the most lazy, the most idle, the most distracted person could become activated and active to work towards their goal. The same person, if they have greed, if they have all selfishness and nasty traits, that person could change. I could forgive that person. That is why Lord Krishna, of all the names that he have, Kripa, meaning mercy, Raj, the God of mercy, that nobody is a lost cause. Nobody is too sinful. When at Jamil in other parts of Bhagwat, when Yamraj was ready for the soul, he said, we well prepare for you. Your whole life you do bad and we sharpen all we cutlass and all we hammer and we ready for you. They start to hammer him, they beat him from start to finish. Your whole life was sin. Lord Vishnu reach and say, where you beating the Swami for? He dead, saying Narayan. Narayan, he said Narayan. The Yamdut said, no, Prabhu, you make a mistake. He didn't call in you, he called his son. He said, no, you make a mistake. You don't understand how effective my name is. So the Hindu just give the children name. I cuss in you and I quarrel in you by calling God name too. I train in my mind in the moment of pain, like a Jamil, I will call God name. And in that moment, I will go to God. Even in my last moment, I could get forgiveness. But if somebody asks you what Narayan mean, Jai Narayana, Jai, and we just be singing it, but what it mean? When Vishnu is talking to him, he watched where he was lying down on the ocean, on the Milky Ocean. And he called him for the first time that you are Narayan. Nara means water. The iron is referring to somebody whose abode, your house, is the water. Narayan means the person who is living on the ocean, the water. And for that reason, when people are calling him in that name of all the names it have, you're calling on him in this kind of magnanimous form that he will forgive me. I am bad, but I am not beyond forgiveness. Blessed, O Narad, is the person that will call him and ask him for forgiveness after making a lifetime, spending all their efforts. What we heard this morning, the sinful person take the whole day, daylight hour, to make money, to maintain family, to do these things. The night is for sexual pursuit. The night is for sleep. Everything in between is to enjoy. And then one day when time dwindling, dear God, give me more time. But the person who squander the time, they don't see it when they squander in it. Whilst health, whilst life is there. Narad Muni, listening, he asked, what is death? How do you create death if God is everlasting? If the Jeev cannot be destroyed, then what is death then? How does that part happen? How did you do that? He says, Lord Vishnu told me the following. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Sri Yam Prapye Puraha. Purava nabhidvijaye yadnata tatra tapasru mrityuyatam pretha kayaye dvijatal. Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Apana Prana Ye Tripati Nana Masan Kumbhayatam Nadhya Samudra Tapuyashti Preshti Apana Ye Yatav. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Taba Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Taba Sharanam. Vindravan Bihari Lala ki Jai, Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. If we were talking simple, the idea of how God is work, I understand God, I'm a believer of God, I'm a follower of God. Good. Everybody understand death. What is death? The soul cannot be destroyed. Death comes. How does death come? It usually has something to do with your breathing, something with the breath. A good way of looking at it, if the person gets CPR and they blow into the person, you could revive a person. Brahma says death is when the pran, that one form of air, and the apan, the apana, a different kind of air, is separated. It is as if something is leaving the body. When that leaves the body, the soul has to go. It is dislodged. When Lord Vishnu wanted to cycle life, he created death to separate these two forms. When people talk about in the funeral service the soul could come back, if that air is allowed to come back in, the soul is allowed to come back in. This is how you explain from a Hindu perspective how resuscitation is allowed. CPR is not against our religion. There are people that says on bracelets due to religious reasons, if they die, do not resuscitate. There are religion in this world today that if the person, they get a short breath or some panic attack and they lost their breath, do not blow in their mouth. God wanted them to die, leave them to die. But Hindu has no problem with blood transfusion, surgery, repairing the human body, or any type of CPR. If somebody asks you that, is it against your religion? Puran, Bhagwat says, God says this body and birth is brought about by karma. And you do what you have to do to maintain the body. So if I take a vitamin, if I eat proper, if I exercise, no problem. If there is some poison in my body because of something, and I have to do blood transfusion, I have to take treatment, take the treatment. That is not against your dharma. Save the body. For this reason, the responsible person, if somebody is drowning as a Hindu, save the life. Be the first responder. Be the person to help. Run to. This is why it tells you the person who is brave, courageous, the person who will help another person. That person, if they die saving somebody, let's say the firefighter, the policeman, that person is uplifted by their job and they get mukti, for example. When Lord Vishnu was ready to create eating and drinking, the stomach, the intestine, the excretory organs, all of it was created. He described to Brahma how to make it. When you look at what the intestine is, it is only when somebody ends up with a problem in their bowel. And they have in Kali Yuga different type of ailments. People never had stomach bag in the 80s and the 70s the way they're getting it now. You're eating, but the things we are eating is causing trouble. And we are embracing poison. Children want the poison. The grocery, when you go in the grocery, watch how Kali Yuga does work. The people are packing snacks that have different chemicals on your lower shelves. So when mommy and daddy go to cash them, seeing chewing gum and whatever, baby seeing chocolate, they want it. They get hyper, they get sick. Their body is going through things that me and you never went through. The person, when punished, they have to do certain Vishnu puja. When you have Crohn's disease, when you have IBS, when you have different bowel problem, just as he created that portion of the body, he created the punishment for it. And when somebody now wants to overcome the predicament they find themselves in, you go to that creator and you say, listen, you made this part in my body, it's faulty. Think about your brain, your heart, your circulation, anything in your body faulty. You have the power to fix it. Maybe you don't come, you send the surgeon, maybe you send the doctor to heal me. Let healing happen. And the person prays, they use river water, and by using the river water and you do certain prayer to Lord Vishnu, a person could heal the ocean of the intestine, where as it is flowing, it is cleaning the body. In the same way, when Lord Vishnu wanted now to create the moon, he created something that is reflecting. The moon does not create light, it is reflecting sunlight. However, because of where it is situated, it affects our life. You ever prepare for your prayers, ladies? And as your prayers coming up, full moon coming, belly spoil. Can't do your prayers again. You will hear the gynecologist say her due date is month end, but that moon is in the second week of the month. Baby, I go wait. Baby coming. It's so funny. When it's full moon, the same beach, this be rough. And when it's new moon, the beach is calm. And for a child that has ADHD or autism, epilepsy, the full moon is make the herd go crazy. The moon is closer to the earth, and the magnetic pull that you and I are not seeing, causing the sea to come up like this, it is affecting the fluid in the head, the fluid, the urine, the blood, the liquids that is in your body. The same God that made it made the problems associated with it. The same God that makes the beach have a tide. When we talk about why the seawater cannot be used in certain prayers, he makes the seawater unclean, unfit to put in the Khalsa. There's a shrap with it. The same time he makes that whole thing happen when the chip ready to come out. When the sea is making things easy to pass, hard for it to pass. There's plenty fishes in the sea, when to fish, when not to fish. The same God creates problems. When does the sea take life? Go and you will hear the mother offer she bosom to the water. There's a procedure to change it. You take the body, the person, and a whole set of people drowning in Trinidad. In the last week, I think we lost 4 to 5 people to water. When it happened and the body is gone and you want to get back the body just to do the funeral, the procedure is listed. Let the lady take she left breast, all respect, and go and take the fresh seawater, meaning it had the suds on it, it's not fit for worship, and bathe the body and allow that water to fall there and ask, my body make that body, I want it back. But we understand death is dead, is not living. That is a different kind of conversation. Somehow the same sea that take the body, take the life, upstream, downstream, you go see the body come back up. Brahma is in class and Lord Vishnu is saying make it this way, but in it could cause trouble. That Surya Murti you're watching there, for example. Surya, the sun, is in charge of photosynthesis. Without it, the mango tree can't grow. Without it, the oxygen we depend on cannot make good. But that same sun is what burns his wife, Sandhya. So, creates the person without legs, Aruna, the charioteer who holding the horses. That is the brother of Garud. He is what we call in science the ozone layer. His back, he has a Vardhan that the sun, he could sit down close to him, but he will never get burned. And he acts like a shield. Wherever the Surya is going, Aruna protects that place from the burning rays of the sun. That same sun could damage the place. That same sun could damage your body when people get cataract, when people have heart this and heart that. Is the sun we're causing it. That is why Tinkwa was saying when you find Surd Narang Dar, and you just put your hand straight so you're facing east and you find the Dar. Dear son, you're coming up in the eastern horizon. Watch me and hit me and take away all the trouble. Burn it away. But if you don't understand why it is face east when you're doing your prayers, what you're saying, in all the trouble, in all the traps, I just laying out 1 or 2. There are many listed here. When you're doing the prayers, when you're offering the milk, when you're putting the lota, when you're bowing, If you don't know why you're doing, then you're doing stuff. Just what Kakbushun tell Garud. You're doing stuff, but the gyan, you have to have the knowledge. In the battle of life, he says the person doesn't have a sword, the weapon to fight. When all the sickness and the trouble and the bacchanal come in for you. If you know what you're doing, you'll take up the sword of knowledge and you'll fight and kill and destroy everything that gone in for you. Other than that, you'll find in this life is persecution after persecution. You're getting up as a good person, but God, it ain't nice when your family, when your neighbor, when everybody, and you go to work, you're trying to do the best, and everybody accusing you, everybody hating you. God make me a lady. Last night I was having a conversation. Imagine this. They call it pretty girl problems. God make me nice, and because I nice, I want somebody husband. Because I nice, I bad. I can't get a break. If I dress good, I bad. If I dress bad, I bad. So the same person now is as if they have their life damn. How to win? Then you're going to hear the value. You see that black dot with his put on children? One example, how to take away certain attention. Last night I mentioned when the Baba using certain prayers and you see the red ticker some of them just have. What that is for? Tonight, when you have certain things, when you hear kajar, and it is make and this kajar you call it? The soot from the deer, Lakshmi Mata sit down here. And you see when certain attention, too much attention, when that planet Buddha, in English we go say Mercury, when people are falsely accusing you, when people are watching you and they're saying you come here for somebody, you're watching my husband, you're watching this, that's your intention. When people are attacking you like that and you don't know what to do, one of the simple things that people use is Lakshmi Mata in the form of this soot. Sit here, and you see when me have that problem, that tendency, you have to take away that. Another way of dealing with that, when pundits help and teach people, they just end up getting kicked. The easiest thing is for you to fall out with your pundit. When you and your pundit fall out, teaching done. So you're going to wallow in the sin and the cesspool in your life. So the pundit want to overcome it, sit down and do Gayatri. Take off the sin, you help them people learn something, they go fight their karma, they go change their life, change their destiny. You have to pay for that. Take that sin off your back. When the person do their prayer and they're doing the 3-time Gayatri, that is why you do it. The prayer now comes as the entity or the tool that you use to overcome the little tests and trials that you have come in this life to entertain and experience. You wanted a child, you get a child. But then you will get sickness, then you will get birth defect, then you will get bullied, then you will get the wrong girl coming in the boy life, then you will get the son. Me no want to him. He taking all the money and he gambling it away, he running with friend. Oh God. These way you make children for Baba. But you wanted children. But when the tests come, that is where the person have to know what to do. In other words, in a simpler way, when the headache come, no paracetamol. Know how to fix the pain. Otherwise, if I have a head pain and I'm taking tablet for my toe, you got to live with that head pain, and you're going to hear the person say, I'm taking tablet, I'm doing prayers, I have all the flag in my yard. But my trouble is going, Baba. It look like that prayers don't work, that God don't work, it don't work, I'm fed up. And when they learn about the God, maybe a different language, maybe a easier procedure, and it start to do it properly, it start to work. Even God make that too, by our conversation tonight. Remember that, You could be a Hindu in a Christian circle. You could be a Hindu in a Muslim circle. You have to understand what you believe in. Everything is God. Not only what you know and what you feel. Everything is God. Other people who have a lesser understanding, if you're blessed, you know how much people we just feed in this temple. And you're willing to help them. We have food, we want food. You bless the food. If you bless the food, we can't eat the food. So it's bad to bless the food, really? If I pray on the food, it's something bad going to happen to you? Only if somebody think what I say, if prayers is something bad for you, what that say about you? If prayers is something you have to afraid, it go do you something. I think only demonic people is afraid God and God stuff. But people don't understand that. Vindravan Biharilal Ki Jai. Put your hands together as we conclude this Chatushloki Bhagwat. As he created different things, the desire to reproduce, the attraction between man and woman, when the bird wants to reproduce, when the dog, when the animals, when the nature has to change, when the weather, let me just say in Trinidad, in different countries, when the season is changing, birds have to migrate, animals have to move, the transmission of information. In St. Lucia, the volcano going to erupt. God created all the different signals of what is coming. It ain't come yet, it coming. And nature is able to respond. But when I, God, don't understand you and the messages that you are sending me, I am the person standing on the beach and the tsunami coming to hit me. And I'm not prepared. I don't know what to do. It says, Brahma tells Narad, this is the sign that a person is out of touch with God. Yada no bhagavat sutaha shama pratna bhagavat uttamam. Know how to ask for forgiveness. Because I am a stranger to God, dear God, I listen to Bhagavad to understand devotion. What am I devoted to? Help me to understand you. Help me to grow and learn to listen to your divine messages so that I would not have to go through the pain and the suffering that I am going through. Namaskarmani janamadhinau paramastubhyam vidya atmane karatuvyam pratipal palamaya yadhiro pati hinantam tapaha. Blessed is the person that listens to the second skand, the second book of Bhagavad. Very difficult to understand, very rare a person will read of this text. It is considered a secret for sinful people never to hear. People who have a full atheistic attitude, people who are not ready to accept God and His works, never listen to this. However, people who are yogi, they're walking, we are rich yet. We walking to find God. I'm playing hide and seek. God, where you hiding? Where you? Where's your name? Where's your form? How to find you? How to achieve you? People like that, when they hear this blessing is that the punishment does not have to happen, but the person is learning to understand God in their life in subtle examples. So maybe we don't have to get into car accident, we don't have to get infection, we don't have to have death, then to realize time is slipping away. Maybe I should do better, for example. Maybe I should try and learn my little mantra, read my book, in whatever way find God. Ayantu Brahma Kalpa Savikalpa Udaya Hridayam Vidhu Sadhu Yatra Swarga Pratikarta Kartam Ye. Blessed is the person that no matter what trials, what tribulation they are currently experiencing, that the person who listens to this Chatushlok Bhagwat, this particular part where Brahma, although he's highly placed, is lost, and God shows him the secrets of this creation, bless the person just by listening to it. Let that revelation stand in their life in the form of faith and devotion. Where in their heart laziness lies because of the tamasic nature, they are not motivated to pray or to do any type of prayer or any type of karma that will benefit only the self. Now the person will start to get opportunity. The person will start to see and relish the chance to go where just by walking in the place, tirat, just by eating prasad, they will get blessing. Just by bowing, I will get the little blessings. That little bit will walk me closer to him, Lord Vishnu. When a person in this way has this foundation, blessed is that person that they could go further in the exercise in the classroom of God and the lessons that God has in store for them. Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. This, Sujji tells the Sauna Krishi, this at the point when Sukdev Goswami is telling Parikshit, he says, now that you have an understanding at the level when God was creating the universe, long before Krishna and Ram and all these characters walked upon the earth. This is how God created time. This is how God created the planet, the whole thing. Now you have the understanding, the foundation for what is to come. In the morning, everybody will be beginning the third skand, but the conversation is going to be totally different. Here now, we will be listening to the story type of katha between Vidur and Maitra. In it, you'll hear about, for example, in the Panchmukh Hanuman form, watch the picture, you'll see there's a form where he has a boar head, a pig head. God could be a pig. You will hear why, how it come, and in a different method of teaching, the power of God, Lord Vishnu, will be on display. Together, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. As we pause tonight at this point, on this last Monday in the Shravan, and we've got to do prayer for those people that offered. As we separate now, remember, when somebody says, I am offering milk and dar and all of that, and somebody asks me, what are you doing all of that for? We heard today how the lingam is the fallen private, the linga of Lord Shiva. And as it was falling like a meteorite, it was burning up the atmosphere. So of all the murti, all the form we have, this fella in Shravan, people take ice, they freeze the ice like ice cubes. And they go and they offer it like that. Cold milk from the fridge is offered on the lingam. Why are you doing that? Because of the heat inherent in it, the devotee is trying to help him keep cool down. If you go in a temple, maybe this one small, where Nandi is sitting opposite the lingam, watch the mouth of the bull. As you learn about your dharma, watch him. He's jarring, blowing on somebody, comes from Nandi Katha. Tinkwa saying, why it is blow on somebody? That started with that bull that is watching the Lord Shiva. And he's trying to keep Mahadev calm and cool. As we go home this evening, consider how much lessons. We talked earlier, we're doing little Shiv Katha and thing. We learned earlier why in the Bilva Ashtakam, why we don't offer tattered bay leaf. Bail is offered because at the bottom of the bay leaf, Brahma, middle Shiva, top of the bail, when you see the person offer it like this, where they turn it down, the devatas are sitting there. So when I'm anointing the lingam, I am putting the three of them on him. Bless me with health. That's the benefit. Why the bail tree? Lakshmi Mata is the one who went to form the tree. So when you give the bail, you get the Lakshmi coming back to you. You offer milk. Why? Milk, the milky ocean where Lord Vishnu is living, milk is liquid Lakshmi. So the boy getting married, the dead have to burn, the person now cut their hair for the first time, bathe them in milk. In the same way, I am bathing Mahadev in milk. I am doing all of these things. If you learn in the example for Shravan about your Lord Shiva, think of how effective your little prayer could be. But the same Bilva Ashtakam says, if I offer tattered, burst, broken, damaged bay leaf, the blessing in inverted commas, I will get shrap, I will get damaged eyesight. So the person makes a very strong effort. It is not about offering 1,000 bay leaf. It is better if I offer one good bay leaf rather than 1,000 bad bay leaf. If it was based on quantity only, when it was Diwali time, if I offer 1,000,000 diya, I will get more blessing than if I offer 8 diya. But sometimes the quality of the oil, the quality of the wick, the quality of the prayer makes a difference. What I'm talking about with the wick, it have different benefit. When, for example, for Lakshmi time, we take fig. You see the fig tree, you strip the bark, you roll it, you lay it dry, and that becomes the wick. When people are doing different, when people dying in the family, 1 death, 2 death, 3 death, in that type of shroud, they just take the cotton from the tree, unprocessed cotton, and they just make the wick and the batti, and they just offer it. How are doing the arati, just like how when you're doing grappas, you use mustard oil, sesame oil for different prayer. How I offer is so I'll get, long story short. The only reason I'm touching on these little tidbits, fill yourself with the knowledge. Gyan Yagya is this. And when you have the knowledge about your God and you go home by yourself and you're saying your prayers, dear Lord Shiva, I didn't know. I didn't know why. That is why we just leave the water dripping on you like that. For it to be cool is as if you have a fever. Imagine the conversation you have with your God. And if you don't have that, what is your prayer really? Because you can't talk to him. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Everybody at this time, let's all stand as we're getting ready for Arati. As we conclude our Ekadasi, everybody will be accepting meals. For those of you watching us throughout the day, as we've been going from session to session, promise to continue answering some questions. I can't get all, but we will. For those of you on Facebook looking on from different parts, I don't know the time where you are, but please continue to send your requests, your knowledge, the questions you have, and we will deal with it. God bless each and every person. For the team from the hospice in Florida, I understand to lose all those people to infection is not nice. I admire that you all are praying, but bad things happen to good people and you cannot afford to give up. We were having a conversation with somebody who was very depressed this afternoon here in the temple. No matter what they do, what matters is how you reply. And if you give in, if you succumb to negativity and bad times, well, all that happen, the enemy will continue to watch you and laugh. When bad times, you get down and you pray harder. That's my answer to that question. Tonight, I want to acknowledge Auntie Molly Ramdat Kedan. She was here from Sandy Grandi, Pandit Rohit. Today is her birthday. And Auntie made, I can't say her age, but today is her birthday. Auntie, may God bless you tonight on this Ekadasi day. Everybody put your hands together. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam deepam grihana devesham trailokya timirapaham. जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती। जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती। ये अमर ग्रंथ, ये मुक्ति पंथ, ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। ये अमर ग्रंथ, ये मुक्ति पंथ, ये पंचम वेद। हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही, हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही, जग की मंगल की आरती. Everybody. जय जय भागवत भगवान की. ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी, है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी, ये मधुसूदन की आरती, पापियों को जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती. ये मधुर बोल जग पंड कोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला, श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही, श्री राम यही, प्रभु की महिमा के आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती. जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को. Remember when Narayan Meena, the person sleeping on the water, that could forgive me for all my mistakes, for all the mistakes that I cannot talk about, abortion, cheating, lying, stealing. Lord Vishnu, you are Narayan. Help me, forgive me, dear God. Wash away these mistakes. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Ram, Ram bol, Hari Narayana. Everybody. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Ram, Ram bol. Tvameva Mata, Tvameva Bandhuscha, Tvameva Vidya, Tvameva Sarvam, Tvameva Sarvam, Mama Deva Deva. Together, Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadeva ki, Pavana Putra Hanuman ki, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki, Jai. Jai Jai Sitaram. Sitaram everybody.